Don't make fun of
I'm
it.
confused. Oh, I'm not.
But
Because one of the extra y's are squared, it's hyperbola.
Are you serious?
Oh
We know that.
yeah, it's like
And you divide by 144.
Nice. Divide everything by 144 to get it equal to 1.
It's x squared over 36.
You guys
Down to my
are.
11.
on a game.
So the key is to get it equal to 1.
There you go.
How many times does 4 go into
36.
144?
111.
How many times does 9 go into 144?
16.
Very good. I'm really impressed.
How did we know this?
Okay, so that's our standard form. When you go to look for the center, we're not adding or subtracting anything with the y squared or x squared. So we have a 0, 0, center. And then we talked about with the hyperbola, if you do the very first denominator, so it's important to have the positive term first, negative term second. The very first one really is our a value, and that's a 6. Because it's under the x, x represents a horizontal distance, so we should be going to the right. To the right, 6. So this will be 6, comma 0. 6, comma 0. And to the left, negative 6, comma 0. Okay. The second denominator, I guess you can think of it as b. When you square root, that's a 4. Now some of you will do this differently. You may go to the vertices now and count up 4 from each one and down 4 from each one and put dots to draw the asymptotes through. I tend to just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just tend to go up and down 4 from the center and then draw the box. But if you go to the vertices and you just count up 4, maybe you guys just would put dots in this location without even drawing that box. But the point would be, from the center, that helps us determine the slopes of the asymptotes. Because the slope in this problem is plus or minus what? Plus or minus 4, 6, which would be plus or minus 2/3. So each line of that x, the dotted line x going through the center, positive 2/3 slope, negative 2/3 slope. Now, go back to your vertices to draw the hyperbola. So you got to make sure you go back to the vertices, follow those asymptotes out to the side. And that is your hyperbola. And then the focus we talked about. What's the little formula for focus?
C squared equals A.
C squared plus B squared. Yes, squared equals E squared.
C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So C will be the square root of 36 plus 16, which is the square root of 52. Can we do anything with that? We could call that, to be exact, or simplify 2 root 13. Again, I don't think for the exam I would get you shook if you didn't simplify these. But I'm going to leave it 2 root 13. So I'm going to go back to my center, which has an x value of 0, and just add the 2 root 13 to it. So the focus would be about right here. And it's 0 plus 2 root 13, so 2 root 13 comma 0. And going to the left a little bit, because remember, 52 is a little bit more than 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 puts us right there. And that's negative 2 root 13 comma 0. And that would be your hyperbola. 3. When I look at 3, I see both an x squared and a y squared. They're both positive. But I also notice that their coefficients are 1. When the coefficients of the x squared and y squared are equal, you're dealing with the circle. Now, I am dealing with the y to the first power. So we're gonna leave the x squared alone, but we do have to complete the square with the y values. So 1y squared, I don't have to worry about factoring anything out. So I'm going to take my -2, cut that in half, and I get -1. I'm careful to put that in parentheses because I'll use that number later. When I square it, I get 1. I put that in for the blank here. Double check. There's nothing out front, right? So all I did is add 1. You have to add 1 over here. The ellipses have to equal 1. Yeah? So this is x squared plus, in parentheses, I'm dealing with a variable of y, and the -1 was in parentheses there. So I have x squared, and it's equal to 1. So that is the standard form of a circle, which we have done before. If you treated this like an ellipse, you would end up getting two denominators of 1, and something should go off pretty soon that like your C value turns out to be 0. So you're not moving away from center at all to label the focus. So where's my center in this circle? 0, 1. So I don't move left to right, I just go up 1. And then what do you label for the circle? What is this again? Remember, that's your r squared. So my r then is the square root of that number, or r is 1. So we'll go up 1, down 1, to the right 1, to the left 1. So up 1, down 1, to the right 1, and to the left 1.
0, 2.
Oops, 0, 2. Thank you. So it's really just a matter of if you're going up or down, you're adding or subtracting the r value to your y's. And when you move left or right, you're adding or subtracting your r values to your x. That's pretty good. Yep.